Hey team, thank you for joining us on this Monday evening. We are so honored to have Maria Mosca, who is a National Director 3 with us. Just a little background, Maria has trained at 16 international conventions. She's done 11 advanced and lead events. She's trained at 6 executive leadership councils and done 3 road to executive conferences and also company-wide launches along with training in the field all over the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, New Jersey. That is a different country. And this convention in May, she'll be speaking from the main stage on approaches and setting appointments. So she definitely knows what she's talking about. She was enrolled in April of 1999 with Joan Sharon and became a senior director in August of 1999 and an executive director in April of 2000. She advanced to National Director 3 in January of 2017. She has 150 personal customers, 21 personal directors, and over 4,100 preferred customers in her Melaleuca business. She's earned the top ELC position 14 times, in its circle and expanded circle of influence 78 times. And since April 1999, she's earned just over $3.1 million. We're so excited to have you with us, Maria. Thank you so much, and we look forward to your training.
All right, so my topic today is in-homes. That I just love doing in-homes, and I'll tell you why. I actually came from the party plan industry. Actually, while I was working full-time at my corporate job that I got hired for right out of college, about 3 years into working full-time, I was introduced to the party plan industry. I was 23 years old at the time, and it's kind of funny how it even happened because I thought I was just going to go buy some jewelry, and then I ended up doing that as a part-time business. And I thought, wow, what a great way to supplement my income. And I did that for 3 years while I was working my full-time job. And then they did a big corporate layoff. They laid off 2,100 of us. I didn't really panic because I just thought, oh, I'll just continue selling jewelry full-time. So I was with that company for a good 6.5 years, almost 7. And they decided to, I'm originally from Canada, so born and raised, they actually pulled out of Canadian operations and Mexico operations. So they only resumed business in the United States. So now I was left without a job and without a business. And I had grown the largest business in the country of Canada in that company. And so now it's like, okay, I got a skill set, but I don't have a business. And that's when my dear friend Joan called me in April of 1999. And this is the funniest part, when she put me on the phone with Ed Bestoso, who presented to me. I love the concept of Melaleuca. I thought, wow, this is awesome. And I said to him, I'm so excited about doing this business. I don't ever have to do a party ever again. And he kind of just like listened to me, and I'm like, this is awesome. And he said, well, you don't have to ever do a party again, but you'll want to do in-homes. And I'm like, well, what's the difference? And he goes, well, he said, you've got a skill set. You want to keep using that skill here, because what you will find is that at least you don't have to run around and sell products to friends and family, which is what you did in the party plan business. This is where you're just doing a group overview for multiple people so that you can have multiple enrollments. And then that's when the switch went off, and I was like, got it. I get it. Okay. And that's why I love in-homes. And this is an in-home that I did when I was visiting one of my team members in Maine, Denora, who's an executive with us. So let me share with you why in-homes. So okay, there we go. First of all, because it helps you achieve your goals a lot faster. And especially if you are on a time constraint, you work a full-time job and, you're trying to utilize your time wisely. So it's not about having quantity of time, it's quality of time, really. And this is definitely a great way to utilize your time. So helps build and strengthen relationships and trust, because again, we're in the relationship building business. We all know that, but it really does help to strengthen that trust with people that you meet at the in-home, especially through, you're mentoring someone. And so if Sherry comes to my home and she's mentoring me, and I'm hosting this in-home and I have a lot of guests, that's now I'm going to be like a connector now, connecting, Sherry to my new potential customers. And there's a trust, there's a bond there. But what else it does is it creates that excitement, because now that those individuals that are enrolling, seeing that they have a support system, like, wow, okay, this is a real team here. So that's important. So maximizing your time, OTJT, on the job training. Best way to teach someone is hands-on, on the job training. They see it, they feel it, they understand it. And again, that helps to build the confidence. So therefore it duplicates, which is so important. And it creates momentum and duplication. That is important because when people see how fun and simple this is, it duplicates. And it's a great social atmosphere. It's fun. And sometimes, we forget to keep the fun in there. We get so serious about this, and it's always important to have a lot of fun. And that's why I love doing in-homes. Now, who do we invite to the in-home is the big question, And a lot of times, again, don't preclude anyone. Who can you invite? Everyone on your contact list that lives close by, your friends, your family. I even like to have other local leaders participate. So if you have someone that's local, that I like to spread out to everyone and say, look, we're hosting in-home at this location. You're invited, of course, but bring a guest. I also don't want to have 20 local leaders in the room and only 5 guests. So you're invited as long as you bring a guest. So we have local leaders participating, which helps to actively build. And of course, great testimonials coming from those local leaders. And then prospects taking a second look at Melaleuca. Sometimes it's really good to invite someone to take a second look, come back again. Maybe they didn't understand it the first time. Maybe they weren't really listening the first time. I think that's really important to re-invite those that saw Melaleuca one time, invite them again. And also those that have home-based business experience. I can't believe the feedback I get when I go and do an in-home for someone, and they've got, Mary sitting there and she did Tupperware, and then Susie's over here and she did Mary Kay, and they see me walk in and they're like, okay, she's not lugging in products to sell us. So they see already like, okay, this looks pretty simple. And all we're doing is just sharing information with people. We're not here to sell them, because they're already doing this. They're already washing, brushing, shower, shaving, cleaning their house, doing laundry. They're already buying these types of products somewhere. We're just going to go in there and educate the consumer on the brand and show them a way to shop in a better format and save money. Secondly, I always like to tell everyone, over invite, because 1/3 shows up. So, very, very very seldom do you have someone who is going to invite 20 and 18 show up, or half. So it's always going to be 1/3. So plan it so that if you want to have 5 to 8 attend the in-home, that you definitely want to over invite 20, so that you will have 5 to 8 that will come. And so how to invite? First of all, I'm going to give you, I usually don't do the script part here, but I'm going to, and I've actually added it to this presentation so that you can see what you can say. But how to invite, first of all, book 2 to 3 dates. So if I'm mentoring someone brand new, I will book 2 to 3 in-homes in my calendar with that individual, because that way when they're inviting, they have an alternate date to give someone. That's important. And then the personal phone invitation, that's so important, because that's where they hear your enthusiasm, your conviction, your sincerity. And that way you can address their need. And it's a great way to lead them into the invite, to invite them over. So you want to be able to create intrigue, but you can't really create that intrigue through a text or an email. I know sometimes people, that's how they like to communicate. So if that's the case, text someone and say, hey, Sherry, when do you have a quick minute? I'd like to run something by you, or I need to ask you a question. And that way it's like, okay, yeah, call me between, this time and that time, because that way you're opening that invitation to them, but they hear your excitement, your enthusiasm in your voice. And it allows you to have that posture too. And also when you're calling, less is more. So be prepared. When you're about to call that person, why am I calling them? Why am I inviting them? How can I help them? Always ask yourself, how can I help them? What is their need? How can I help them? Because I want to intrigue them by their need. Like, I have something for you that would benefit you because. So I thought of you because. So that's really important. And then of course, reminder calls. That's critical every single time, at least the day before, to give them a friendly reminder, because sometimes people just get crazy busy, or they forgot to even post it in their calendar. And of course, that's when, you're going to be able to remind them and help them with that. So how to invite. And there's so many ways that you can invite. This is how I feel comfortable. This is how I train people when they're booking an in-home with me. I'm not hiding anything here. I tell them, you know what? I recently partnered with Meluka, the wellness company. I'm hosting a wellness workshop or health and wellness seminar, whatever you want to call it. I've had some people call it Mom's Going Green. And you message your, okay, you guys can still hear me, right? Yeah, okay, great. Okay. So what you want to do is, like some of the folks that I've mentored, they've called it Mom's Going Green because they've had like a breakfast show after the kids are off at school. And they're like, okay, Maria, we're going to call it Mom's Going Green. We're going to invite all the moms over after they drop their kids off at school. And we're going to have, breakfast. And they're serving like Meluka oatmeal and granola and Meluka coffee, Meluka tea. And some of them will have yogurt so that they can put the granola in the yogurt. And it's awesome because the husbands are at work, the kids are at school, there's no disruption. I love the breakfast in homes. They're fun. They're so much fun. And we call them Moms Going Green. And some people like to do like a Friday evening, and they might call it, wine and wellness, or wine women and wellness, or wellness workshop, health and wellness seminar. So you're having, couples there too for the men. And I'd love for you to come over and take a look, see what's in it for you and how this could benefit you. I thought of you because. So that would be your approach. I thought of you because. So explain why you thought of them. And then continue by saying, so Sarah, there's no obligation. It's just great information. So come and take a look. My gatherings on this day, and come see what's in it for you. I always like to finish it with what's in it for you. Come and see what's in it for you. Come explore your options. Come and take a look. So that way it's very inviting, it's very friendly, it's non-threatening. And sometimes I might even, I teach people, even if you have to, you can say, I don't, I'm not, this isn't about selling anything. I don't sell anything. My job is just to provide great information. So that way they feel comfortable about attending, and that's the key. Now, here's the bigger key. When they agree to come, this is people ask me all the time, Maria, how do you guys have 5, 10, 15, 20 people coming to your in-homes? This is the key question right here. You can do the best approach on the planet, and people will say, yeah, sounds great, I'll be there. But now you need a second confirmation commitment. When they agree to come, be sure to say, that's great. Oh, Sarah, I'm so glad you can make it. Can I put you down as a definite? And the reason why, Sarah, is because I'm going to have some free sampling and limited seating. So I want to make sure everyone gets free samples. And I want to make sure that you're one of my definites. Now, here's what's going to happen, folks. Sarah's going to either say to you, oh, no, I'm coming. I'm a definite. Or she's going to say to you, okay, well, you know what? If Mike gets home from work on time, or, my son's got a soccer practice, so if everything goes okay, then I'll make it. Guess what? You need to put Sarah down in the maybe column. She is not a definite. She's a maybe, and that's where you keep inviting. So you can say, okay, Sarah, you know what? I'll put you down as a maybe. When you find out for sure if you're a definite, let me know, but I'll put you down as a maybe, and that's great. If you end up not being able to make it, I'll invite you to the next one. And you move on. But this way, you're not disappointed, because so many times people will say to me, I had 18 people, coming. Okay, you had 18 people that were excited about what you said to them, but were they a definite? Or was 5 of them the definite and the other 13 were maybes? And that's where you have to separate and differentiate who was really coming so that you're not disappointing yourself. And that's where the confusion always ends up being, is they think everyone's coming because they said, oh, this sounds great. Count me in. So ask this question. I guarantee you half the time they're going to turn into a maybe. And that way you know exactly what to expect. And then if they ask you, tell me more. Now this is where you have to be careful, because you can get really excited and you hear their enthusiasm because they're excited because of you. And then if you start talking too much, you're going to talk them in and out of it, or they might even say, I'm not even interested. Oh yeah, okay. I know enough now to say no. So just say, you know what, Sarah, I'd love to give you the details, That's why we need an hour of your time. That's why I'm hosting this awesome event so that you can come and smell, touch, and feel. But listen, it's like seeing a great movie. You really need to see it from start to finish. And I do not want to spoil the highlights. Fair enough? So I kind of end it right there. And then they agreed because I don't want to spoil the highlights. And that's why I'm hosting the event. Because now if I start giving it to you in bits and pieces, I kind of spoil the fun part of it. And I got to share a funny story with me because one of my dearest friends I've known for 25 years, and my friend Mary back in Canada, she's also, been my hairdresser for as long as I've known her. And she was someone I invited when I first started. And she was so excited. She was like, of course I'll come, right? Like we have, it's that close bond that, you have with your friends that will always support you. And it didn't matter what I was going to tell her. She was going to come no matter what. But she kept pressing me for what, tell me more. I'm like, Mary, I can't do it justice over the phone. You just got to come and say, oh, stop it. Just tell me. So it was funny because right there on the spot, I said, Mary, you're a hairdresser, right? You can never give me a haircut over the phone, right? Well, I can't do this any justice over the phone either. So you got to come and sit in my chair like I sit in your chair to get my hair done. And she laughed and she said, all right, touche, I get you. So just be relatable, make it fun. So that way they understand, like, you know what, I need to come there to get the whole picture and why you're so excited. And then about the preparation, that's important too. The room setup, refreshments, food. One of the things that I just love to use the Melica products. That's what we use for, of course, when we're doing the overview, we're using the Melica products. First thing, definitely the access bars, GC control. We buy the little plastic shot glasses and we pass out samples of the GC control. I have to tell you, people get so excited when they get to try and sample the products. I can't stress that enough. When I'm mentoring people, most of the people that I'm mentoring that are having in-homes are starting with that home conversion pack that has the GC control, that has the access bars. And I bring my own too because sometimes I don't even want to use theirs. I just want them to enjoy it. I'll bring an access bar. I'll bring GC control in a shaker already made. I bring coffee because I know coffee doesn't, I'll say, do your friends drink coffee? Yeah, they love coffee. Great, I'll bring a bag of coffee. I don't mind doing that because I want them to smell, touch, and feel. In the home conversion pack, they have the omega-3. I tell them, hey, Mary, make sure you have some plastic spoons. We're going to sample that omega-3 because, you shared with me that most of your friends coming have small kids, and they're going to want to have this for their small kids. The moms try it, and guess what? They say, wow, my kids would love this. This is a great way for them to get their omega-3s. So I really give them, it's an experience is what I'm trying to give them. That hands-on experience. And it's so fun because it's really interactive. And that's the whole key there. Crackers, granola, whatever they have. I'm like, put it out, chop it up, put it out, let them sample it. Let's grab the Renew lotion so they can try the Renew lotion. And that's so important. I talk about, again, in the preparation, if they have pets, do you have pets? Is there going to be a lot of people bringing their kids? Can we perhaps maybe have them in a playroom? Where someone can, watch them, and while we're in another room doing an overview. So we're trying to, lessen any disruptions, so that way the folks that are attending can really understand what this is all about. And then I'd like to hear about the description of the guests coming. So here's the other key element when booking an in-home with someone. So if I'm going to, book Kelly for an in-home, and I'm not going to just book that Kelly in my calendar and go, okay, Kelly, now I'll be at your house on Thursday, the 13th, 7 o'clock, pack the house. And then not talk to her again until the time comes and then wonder why she's only got 2 or 3 people showing up. I'm going to mentor her. I'm now going to be her coach through this whole process. I want to know who she's inviting, who she's got coming. So I'm going to be talking and communicating with her. That's how I'm going to have the attendance. That's why when I get to the house, there's at least 10 or more sitting in that living room because I'm coaching her every step of the way. So every time she has a definite coming, I say to them, you know what? Every time you have a new definite coming, let me know who they are. So now they're reporting to me. Hey, Maria, I made more calls today. I have 3 more definites coming. Let me tell you a little bit about them. I'm writing their names down. Mary, school teacher. Susan was with Mary Kay. No longer with Mary Kay. I'm keeping a track of who's coming to that in-home. So that way, when I get to her in-home that night, I go early. I show up early, as it says right there. I'm going to be there before the guests show up. That's the other mistake people make, is they show up when everybody's already there. Try to present in front of a room of strangers. Not a good feeling, right? That's why you show up ahead of time. You meet and greet, you get to know each person. So I've already got in my head, okay, I definitely want to meet those that were, with home-based business experience. And so when she says to me, hey, Maria, this is my friend Mary. I already know Mary's from Tupperware. She don't need to say to me, oh, this is Mary. Remember I told you about her? She was from Tupperware, and center her out. I've already done my due diligence. I've already done my preparation. I already know who's coming. I already know the people that are coming. When she tells me about Karen, who's a school teacher who's going to retire in the next year, and she says, Maria, this is Karen. I'm like, okay, yes, nice to meet you. Oh, you know what? Sarah told me a bit about you. I hear you get to retire pretty soon. So, you know what? You know how good that makes that person feel? Like, wow. My friend spoke highly of me. Like, wow, she knows who I am. That's so important. And now when I start the overview, I'm not talking to a group of strangers. I'm talking to a group of friends now, acquaintances that I just met. And, and they're even more excited to hear what I have to say, because now I'm their friend. So I'm no longer a stranger. So that's why it's important. Go early, but review this description of the guests coming. And I'm telling you, that'll pay you back tenfold. It's unbelievable what that does when going into an in-home, knowing who your guests are. But guess what else it does? It keeps that new marketing executive that you're mentoring, it keeps them accountable. I know when they're calling me, especially when they're calling me like every day, hey, I got someone else coming. I'm like, awesome, great job. So tell me about this person that you have coming. Guess what? I know they're inviting. I know they're doing the job. Because guess what? The worst thing that can happen, you don't have accountability with that individual. And then 2 days before you get a call, yeah, I'm going to have to cancel my in-home. Well, you know why people cancel their in-home? Because they didn't do the invitation. They weren't inviting. They weren't prospecting. They weren't making the calls. And now they've wasted your night, and it's too late to try and book another in-home within a day or two. And really, you have to look back at yourself and go, okay, what could I have done better? Why is this person canceling their in-home? It's all because the preparation was not there. So it really starts with us as the leader to be able to teach that and keep them accountable to inviting. So that's really important. I think that's the biggest thing right there. You want the attendance there, it starts with us first. And if I'm not hearing from someone within 3 days of me booking an in-home with them, and I've booked 2-3 in-homes with them, they're in my calendar, I'm calling going, hey, Karen, how's it going? How's the inviting going? Tell me who you got coming so far, so I know the audience. I know who I'm talking to. And if they start telling me, oh, I haven't started inviting yet, all right, well, let's carve out an hour this evening, and we're going to make calls tonight. And every time you talk to someone that's coming, you're going to call me back and give me a description of them. So guess what? The calls are being made. That's key. Because you know what? That's my night too. And I'm putting that time aside for that individual. I want to make sure that the attendance is there as well. And so the next part is, let me just move to the next page here. Okay. Where's my page? Oh, there. Okay. Let's make sure. Okay, there we go. Okay. So display. Home or a value pack on display, very important. I tell them I want your entire value pack or home conversion pack on display. It's really important, and I'll explain to you why. And I explain why, because now when I start my overview, when I start the presentation, I'll say, now, these wonderful products that you see on the table, they're not for sale. As you saw me come in, I've been here, I did not bring them. They actually belong to Sherry. Her and Gregory use them around their home with their kids, so they can smell, touch, and, she put them out so you can smell, touch, and feel, so that you can see that they've actually converted their home. So, wow, the credibility goes through the roof for their friend, because they're, wow, you did convert your home. Okay, these are Sherry's products. Maria didn't bring them here. Okay, and that way you can get more acquainted with what we manufacture. You can see what we actually make. And so I'm going to give you all the information this evening so that you can make a well-informed decision how you can get these products delivered to your door at wholesale, like Sherry and Gregory do. And they're like, oh, cool. So now that pressure of that, oh, I got to make a token purchase, or I got to buy something tonight. ooh, I see products here. That's gone. There's nothing here for sale. You're not here tonight to buy anything off this table. This is just for your pleasure to be able to smell, touch, feel, and see what Sherry has been using around her home with her family and how they converted their household. And you can see firsthand what our company manufactures. My job here this evening is to educate you on our brand and show you how you can acquire these products at wholesale, factory direct yourself. And I'll show you how to do that by shopping directly with the manufacturer online, wholesale, factory direct to your door. And now they're at ease, there's peace. Now I got their attention. Now they're going to pay attention. And that way I can deliver that message. And it's so much more fun when they're at ease because there's no pressure. And I tell them, by the way, this is just some great information and no obligation. So again, making them feel comfortable and at ease. Now, during the overview, this is important too, is sharing product testimonials from customers. So if there's any current customer right now, so if Sherry maybe already enrolled a couple of customers, and I'll say, Sherry, you know what, reinvite those customers to come back and tell them to bring a friend. And that way they're giving product testimonials. So now they're hearing it third party as well. It's all about sip and sample. That's really good. Involve their senses and make them part of the process. Make it a fun experience. That's the best part, is they get to experience the products. And so when I talk about the GC control, we're passing around the GC control. But first and foremost, I explain the product first before I let them sample it, because I want them to hear what the product's about. The access bar is the same thing. Coffee with brewed. Anybody wants tea, we've got tea as well. We got little dishes of the crackers and the granola. Again, a fun experience. So we're communicating the quality and the value of our brand throughout the overview, but they're able to try the products too. And what I'm doing throughout the overview is I actually prevent objections from even happening. I'm conveying the message of switching stores throughout the entire overview, so therefore it's preventing any objection. As I'm talking about the products, I'm also talking about how this is just something simple. We're already switching stores, so I don't really get a lot of the objection of, I don't know if I can do 35 points, because I've already basically covered that throughout the overview. Because when they're sampling the products and they're seeing, wow, there's so many different divisions here, it really is a simple way of just switching stores, and there's no new money. That is going to win them over, because they see that there is no new money. And then also making sure we have a balance between products and business. So again, it goes into my intro. When I start my intro, I'll say, now there's two parts to this overview. First part, I'm going to teach you and educate you how to switch stores, save money on something you're already doing. And when you can save money, that's like making money. And then the second part is I'm going to show you how you can supplement your income, or maybe perhaps you're here tonight, you didn't come here looking to, for a business or build a business, but I want to share it with you. And the reason why is I was laid off from my corporate job, and I share a bit about myself. I'm glad a friend shared this with me. And maybe you're not here for that reason, but if I can even show you how to turn an everyday household expense into an income stream and even get your products paid for, it's worth listening to, because we pay our happy shoppers for referrals. And I want to share that part with you, so that way you can see what's in it for you. Maybe not for today, but maybe down the road you might want to explore that option for yourself. So again, I don't have anybody's backup like, wait a minute, we're having fun here looking at products, and now she's talking about a business. I didn't come here for a business. And then even those that are looking for a business aren't sitting there going, oh, I thought we were going to talk about a business tonight. They know there's two parts of the overview, and we're going to appeal to everyone. So so as I'm starting to say, now I'm going to give you all the information you deserve, so that you can make a well-informed decision how this is best suited for you. So again, opening their mind and planting the seeds. Who can we help? So I'll even say, if you know anyone that is looking to supplement their income, or perhaps did get laid off from their corporate job like I did, or maybe lost a business like I did, this would be a great fit for them. We'd love to talk to them. Always ask yourself, who can we help? And that's what we're here for. So, and get them dreaming too. How can we help you? Maybe this could be a great vehicle for you to have better choices. Like maybe you want to retire sooner. Maybe you want to pay off debt faster. Maybe you want to put your kids through college. Maybe you just want to go on a fun family vacation, but don't have the extra means to put money aside to do that. this could be that vehicle to help you acquire that and have fun with it. So that's where I get them dreaming throughout the overview too, throughout the in-home. Let me tell you, it's so powerful when you can be there in person. Don't get me wrong, it's easy to sit at home and do an online presentation, but every opportunity I get, which if somebody's local to me, I want to be in their living room with their friends and family. I love doing online presentations. I do a lot of them. I do a lot of virtual in-homes. I'm doing a virtual in-home tomorrow evening. I'm in Las Vegas. I'm going to be doing a virtual in-home into Toronto, Canada. But I'm mentoring a brand new pace setter director too. She is driving an hour to an in-home in Toronto. She will be physically at the in-home, and they are going to zoom me into that in-home. I'm going to meet every single person at that in-home, and I'm going to do the overview live in their living room. And while I'm doing the presentation, she's going to be doing the sampling. And at the end, I'm going to answer questions, and she's going to close them with the paperwork. And we're going to get them enrolled. But every chance I get that I can be in their living room physically, that's my option. And that's what's helped build our business more productively. And of course, help develop a lot of leadership a lot more quickly because of the in-homes. Now, this is really important. This is just some really simple thing, but boy, oh boy, does it help so much more easier. I highlight the paperwork. I have my whole team doing this now because they saw how much more productive it is. I highlight the forms because when you hand someone a blank form, they're looking at it like, what do I fill out here? They're so overwhelmed. So I highlight the paperwork. When I'm done my overview, I hold up the paperwork and I say, listen, we're going to help you set up your account this evening. All you need to do is just fill out the highlighted area, where you want your products delivered to, and on this form, where you want your referral check sent to. And then Sherry and I are going to come around and help you with your first product order, what you want to try for your first shopping order. Maybe you want to take advantage of the value pack. Maybe you want to take advantage of the home conversion pack. I've got the home conversion value pack flyers that I'm handing out. And guess what? When I pass out the this is how I close my room. I have the catalog with the enrollment forms highlighted inside the catalog with a pen. I give it to every single individual at that in-home. I tell them, no obligation. If you want to set up your account, it just takes a few minutes. We'll gladly help you do that. Sherry and I are going to come around the room to help accommodate those that need to go a little faster and need to leave sooner. We'll help you first. I don't have to say a word. I pass out the pens with the enrollment forms, and the folks that put the pen to the paper, they're enrolling. No need for me to ask them, are you going to join? Never ask that question. They are joining. They're enrolling. They're filling out the paperwork. So what I coach my new marketing executive is, when we see people filling out the forms, I'm going to go to the one person, you go to the other person, and I sit right next to them and I say, hey, Sarah, I'm so excited that you're going to be trying our products. What caught your attention first? What do you want to start with first? And then I let her talk. Oh, well, you know, my little son at home, he's got eczema, so I'm really interested in that Renew lotion. And the peak performance, I definitely want to get on the supplements. I'm like, wow, well, you know what? Like I mentioned, the home conversion pack comes with the free peak performance. Is that something you're considering? So I'm talking about, you know, what she's going to be trying. I already know she's enrolling. You know, I might sit next to the next person. Hey, Mary, thank you so much for becoming a Melica member. I'm excited to have you try our products. What do you think I'm starting off with first? So I've already assumed the close. She's already filling out the paperwork. I've been assuming the close throughout the entire overview. Now I'm closing them. So the worst thing you can do is sit next to someone and say, so what'd you think? So you want to join? Never say that. Of course they're enrolling. It's common sense. Now here's the best part. The folks that don't want to enroll, I already know they're not enrolling. I can tell their body language. I can tell when the minute I give them the enrollment forms of the pen and the catalog, they're putting it right back on the coffee table. And I'm totally cool with that because I'm not focused on them. I'm focused on the ones that are filling out the enrollment forms, and I'm closing them first. And that's where my attention goes. And if I even have one person speak up and say, yeah, I'm not sure about this yet. No problem. No worries. You know what? I'll chat with you in just a few minutes. Just going to help out these folks that are filling out the forms. And I walk right away from them. I'm not letting them take over my show. I'm here to close and get the enrollment and help people make their first product selection, I'm not going to sit there and start listening to their 20 whys of why they're not going to enroll and let the whole room hear that. I'm going to address that situation on a separate note when I'm done closing the room. When I'm done closing the room, if there's one or two people sitting back still kind of hemming and hawing, then I'll have a discussion with them. But until then, I'm going to control the room, and that's what we need to do. I can be enrolling Mary right in front of me, and if I hear Nancy on the other side of the room talking about, I don't know, like, so the backup order, how does that work again? I will literally look at that customer I'm enrolling right now and say, do you have a few minutes? Is it okay? I can hear a question over there I need to go and address. Oh yeah, sure, go ahead. I will walk the other side of the room and I will answer that question. Nancy, this is how the backup order works. Let me just reiterate it because I want to make sure I'm there to help you succeed. So I want to close that room, and if there's any apprehension, I'm there to help overcome that, to make people understand the benefits in their best interest. So that's really important. You need to be paying attention. And that's why when people ask me, hey, I want to put out some other refreshments. I want to put out a cheese tray, a cracker tray, a fruit tray. Should I do that after the in-home? I'm like, no, by all means, put it out now. I want people eating while I'm doing the presentation. I want their full attention, because then when the overview is done, it's done. And they've already had what they want to eat and drink. Now we're closing. It's time to close. That's the other part. I'm now mentoring Sherry. I tell Sherry in advance, Sherry, when it comes time to closing, this is what you're going to say. When you see Becky filling out the forms, Becky, I'm so excited you're going to be a Melaleuca member. What do you think of starting with first? What do you like to try first? What do you got your eye on so far? So you're communicating and you're closing, okay? Because if Sherry leaves the room, her friends are going to follow. They're going to go, where's Sherry? Where'd she go? So you've got to stay in close proximity with the person who's mentoring you. It's not time for us to get up and go grab more wine or see what's on TV. It's stay in the room. Your mentor is there to help you have a successful in-home. You stay there and close the room. And the close is so important. So that's where we want to help people at the same time help with their first shopping order. Now, those that are in a hurry, sometimes they'll say, I can't pick out what I need right now because I've got to go pick up my daughter from dance recital, or dance rehearsal. I've got to rush. Can I take this home with me? Okay, you've all got that question. So again, we've already been coached. So I'll say, you know what? No problem. You know what? I'm sorry, Nancy, you got to leave in a hurry. It takes 3 minutes. Let's fill out your enrollment forms and we'll set up your shopping account and then you can do your shopping from home. Is that easier for you? Oh, that would be great. Okay, awesome. So now as I'm mentoring Sherry, I'll say, now Sherry, make sure you follow up with Nancy in the next few days. Like call her tomorrow. Thank her again for being a Melaleuca member and help her click on that email to create her password so that she creates her online shopping account. So that way it's really important that we get her shopping right away, out of sight, out of mind. Get her watching those learn to earn videos right away. That's really important. And then of course, when I'm doing the in-home, on top of closing and getting that first order, I think that's so important because again, most people at an in-home know what they want to buy. They already know, okay, I know what I want to try for my first order because they've experienced the products. And most of them pretty much settle for the value and home conversion pack because it's simple. It's like, wow, I'm going to get the free supplements and everything I pretty much like, they demonstrated and they talked about, and it comes in the value pack or it comes in the home conversion pack. But another thing that I'm there for is to book that next wellness gathering. And that is something I talk about throughout the overview because again, people get excited through the overview and they get really like, wow, this is great. You can see their body language. They're loving the information. And every time I see people get excited, I say, by the way, folks, I know you're excited right now and you're probably thinking of a million people that would benefit from this. You're thinking, oh, my best friend would love this. My mother would love this. And they're all agreeing with me. They're like, yes, just to let you know, you want me to come and share this information with your friends and family, I'm going to be in your living room. You let me know. So I like to leave that in-home with at least 1 or 2 bookings, okay? And again, there's some people that are going to want to have a wellness gathering, not necessarily because they chose to be a category 2 or 3, but because they just saw the value in sharing the information. And that category one, you know how many times I've had that category one turn into a business builder, turn into a pace setter director 3, a pace setter director 6. It's unbelievable how many times I've had that happy shopper who just wanted to have a few friends over now see the opportunity of, okay, I can do this. I want to keep doing this. And so that is so important. That in-home picture that you saw that I did in Maine, that was a gal who booked in category 1, just wanted to have some friends over and share the information. And she went all the way to director 3 just from being a happy shopper, had no intention of building a business. But it evolved from there and it built her confidence that, yeah, I can do this. And she's now a director 3. So don't preclude the happy shopper. Don't just focus on the category. The 2s or 3s are going to identify themselves. They're going to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I did see something here today. I'd like to learn more about this business. Yeah, and that's where you can book that strategy session with them. But if someone walks up to me at an in-home and says, wow, this was a lot of fun, and I definitely see the value in having one of these. Would you come to my home? And, you know, but I'm not interested in building a business. I just want to introduce this to my friends and family. I'm there. I'm there because that could be a potential 5, 10, 15 new customers that I didn't have in my business. And now they will be in my business. And you never know who they can lead you to. That's important too. So I offer everyone, hey, if you want to host a wellness gathering, we're here to, we'll book one for you as well. And also announce the date and location of another in-home that might be occurring in the next few days, or the next week, that they can bring a guest to. And then call in the enrollments. We call in the enrollments right there, and then call in the enrollments, quick send, done. And we help validate their decision and their next step. What's their validation? Okay, again, welcome to Maluka. We're excited that you came on board. Don't forget, you're going to get a little welcome to Maluka email. We let them know you're going to get a welcome to Maluka email. Click on it to create your password. Start watching Learn to Earn videos. And the category 2s and 3s, we're pulling out our calendar. We're like, hey, we need to book a strategy session, get together with you, because we want to start coaching them as well. And that's so important. And of course, even calling, like, let's say you've got some new customers that you just enrolled, in the month of March, call them up and say, how are you enjoying your products? Great, I'm loving my products. Now, Mary, I know you mentioned you were not interested in the business. Is that still what you're feeling? Or yeah, no, thank you for asking. I'm a happy customer. Okay, great. Well, can I share with you what the customer special is this month? Because they've got a great incentive for customers. Sure, what's that? Well, because you're a happy shopper and you love the products, if you refer 8 other customers that would love these products, Maluka will pay you a $500 referral fee. Is that something that interests you from a customer standpoint? Guess what, folks? You wouldn't believe how many times people are like, oh yeah, I think I could do that. And now they get excited and they don't even know they're doing the business because you've eased them into it. You didn't scare them off. Sometimes people hear the word business and they get all freaked out, or I'll say to them, and oh, can I tell you what's in it for your friends? Because you enrolled in March, you can offer $1 memberships to your friends because you got the $1 enrollment. You get to offer the $1 enrollment, and we have a spring cleaning special going on right now. Spring cleaning pack for free with all customers' first orders by the 14th. They get that too. Isn't that a great way to introduce us to your friends? And that's what's going to happen. And that's exactly what's going to take place because they get excited about, like, yeah, I know my friends would love that special. Now what's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario, they might enroll 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5, but that's 4 or 5 new customers you didn't have in your group. You won't believe sometimes I've had growth in a month because of working with my business builders, but also paying attention to the customers and helping them enroll 2. This one enrolled 4, this one enrolled 5, this one enrolled 3, this one had an in-home and had 8 enrollments. We had a real estate agent here a couple of months ago who just wanted to introduce us to her clients. Just her clients, help them detox the home, not interested in the business, had 12 of her clients in her living room and all 12 enrolled. All 12 of them. And she was a category 1, happy shopper. But the follow-up, that's the key, is just following up with her and just suggesting, hey, do you think any of your clients might want to use these products in their home? Because you sell a lot of homes. This is a great way to help your clients create a healthy home. And it just so happens that the day that we called to suggest that to her, she told us that, wow, that's it's funny you're calling because I was watching the Today Show this morning and they did a whole segment on the toxins that we're bringing into our home, starting with personal care products and cleaning products. And right away I thought, yeah, this would be a great avenue to introduce to my clients. Okay, I'll book one. And next thing you know, she booked it in home. So we offer it to everyone. And it's, again, a great way to create your, to develop your team and create more customer growth. And it's a lot fun too, because you create a lot of great fun stories throughout the process. So I hope that that helped with a lot of tips here for everyone. And if you wanted some Q&A, I'm happy for that too. And anything I can do to suggest for anything else. But I love it. I love this business because from day one, I knew that the only investment was going to be my time. And that's all really this is the more time you invest, of course, it's going to pay you great dividends. And the only inventory is really our contact list. And so, and here we're building relationships, and it's all about, fostering the relationship too with your customers and getting them open-minded enough to even have a customer gathering that could result in your next business partner. And so that's pretty exciting. So thanks for having me.